Hey guys, this is Brian with the Dude What Movie Review Podcast. I want to thank you for tuning in to the show tonight. We're bringing you a special edition of our show. We're doing a side table discussion on the new film, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Jim and I took a field trip with my family to go see the film at our local theater, and we came back real late in the evening and decided to turn on the mics and have a little fun. We got a little loopy, we got a little crazy, so there's some four-letter words flying on this episode, a little bit of a language issue, nothing too crazy. You can still enjoy the show without being completely insulted. So just sit back and enjoy our conversation.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I just want to watch my movie.
Oh boy, Jim. Okay, it is currently 2:46 in the morning on August 1st. It's a Saturday morning, early morning hours. We just literally got back from the movie theater.
Yeah.
And you and I, along with my wife, a couple of my kids, one of their friends, coworker, we all piled up in the truck and headed over to the movie theater, and we watched Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Wasn't just a truck, Brian. It was a Spider-Mobile.
All right, let's get that out of the way. Right up front. So my truck, I don't drive it all the time because we have a company truck that we drive to work. There's no need for me to drive my truck the majority of the time. I only drive it on the weekends. Well,
no. When you say you don't drive it all the like, it's to the point where your insurance company every month is calling you saying, "Hey, you're not driving your truck."
Hey, none of your business. All right, shut up. We paid our premiums,
right?
The truck's paid for. Mind your business. Right. So anyway, the truck is parked right next to the garage, and unfortunately for us, we have the security light that is on at night, and so bugs are attracted to that side of the garage, which means spiders are attracted to that side of the garage. So ironically enough, we're talking about the film Spider-Man Brand New Day. We go to get into the truck, and lo and behold, a whole goddamn spider web bonanza's going on inside of the truck.
Everybody's cleared about to get in your truck.
Everybody's like, what is going on in here? Benji's freaking out in the back seat. And as we're getting ready to leave, there's one like dangling down from my window, and I'm like, oh yeah. I end up flicking it out of the window.
It's a nice truck.
It is.
It's not like an old truck that you would expect that in, right? But yeah, it's pretty funny.
But because it sits and I don't drive it, so yeah, I need to drive it more. I need to clean it out more. Whatever. We're not here to talk about my truck and my driving habits. All right, we're here to talk about a movie. Right? We're here to talk about the latest installment in the MCU universe. Yeah. All right, we're here to have some fun, Jim. Let's talk about this film.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Of course, this is the Dude What Movie Review Podcast.
Dude, what?
I'm Brian. He is Jim. Say hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
What was that? We're going to be talking about this film. And obviously, there's going to be tons of spoilers, so
spoiler alert.
We're going to be talking about the story heavy. We're going to be talking about the actors. We're going to be talking about the characters. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. For me, I am a little kind of out of the loop. And, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I don't have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So I can't stay up to date with all the TV shows that they're putting out. There was a lot of references in this film that I think kind of got lost in translation for me, but it's not like it was so far out there that I couldn't pick up on it.
Sure, yeah. Well, so I mean, before we went to watch it, I watched like a 30-minute YouTube recap, and in that they were talking about like there was like, I can't remember how many movies, and then like 14 different episodes. So they were referencing everything from like She-Hulk to like, there was all kinds of stuff they were referencing.
I might have to have you send me a link to that so I can watch it myself.
Yeah, no, I mean, they weren't giving spoilers, but there's definitely a few things they dropped in there that I'm like, I feel like you knew what was coming up. And you just kind of dropped that little seed, like, It was very interesting. But yeah, dude, it was easier to follow the MCU when they were just putting movies out. But then when Disney Plus came along, and we kind of knew this was going to happen, right? Where then they start folding all these little Easter eggs within the TV series.
Right.
Now, coming out, like, at first, they were just trying to fill
some gaps.
Yeah, really. We have to put some TV stuff out, right? Because we got a new platform, whatever.
No, but I think it goes to the whole thing of, like, we can't put a full-fledged Hollywood big-budget film out for every single character. But we can do a smaller scaled down version of a TV show style and tell some of these stories that kind of go in and fill the gaps.
I mean, from a business side, it makes total sense why they would do that. As a viewer, it is a little frustrating because it's like, well, one, I don't want to pay for every streaming service out there.
Right.
And then two, they're just putting all kinds of stuff out, like TV shows. So it's like connecting this one. It's like, I don't have the time to watch all of those.
Yeah, look, here on this show, and more specifically with me, I've been vocal about fanboy stuff. Okay? Yeah. And I've been vocal about the fanboy and the comic nerds and stuff like that. But realistically, what the MCU is doing from a cinematic standpoint and from the smaller screen standpoint with Disney Plus, this is like geared solely towards fanboy. You know what I mean? Like, this is like their heaven if they're into all this stuff.
Yeah, well, I will say, the things that I loved about this movie come from me being a kid reading Punisher, Spider-Man. Those were two that I read often.
And that's what I've been hearing about this film specifically, that they've made a conscious effort to try and tie in some of that stuff.
Yes, like very early on, the scene where he's swinging and he's holding like a villain.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that comes from like the very first Spider-Man comic. So like there's little nods here and there that were very comic booky.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was definitely serving the fan there. Let's be honest, the MCU has kind of, I'm not going to say limping along because they're making money hand over fist.
Right.
But they've kind of lost the shine a little bit after the Infinity Saga.
Yes.
With a lot of, like with their films, right?
Well, I feel like with the Infinity Saga, you had so many great things working for it. Namely, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. These characters, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, I mean, those were your anchors. And they really helped drive all the storytelling, tying and weaving everything together. And then you had the ultimate big bad, in my opinion, hanging out there, looming in the background, in Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. Friend of the show, Josh Brolin.
Friend of the show.
He doesn't know it yet, but he is a friend of the show. But great in-depth storytelling, long-form storytelling. I feel like where MCU, like you're saying, kind of lost a little bit of that shine, a little bit of that luster, has a lot to do with the fact of the kind of start-stop with the idea of telling the story of Kang, with Jonathan Majors as that role.
Yeah.
Because not only was, he a part of the Ant-Man story and also a part of Loki and, and integral to the idea of moving forward with the big bad, you cut Jonathan Majors out because of the domestic abuse scandal stuff that he had going on with his ex-girlfriend. That had to make them pivot. That is a whole discussion that we're not going to go into because I really don't feel like editing it. But point being is, I feel like they had a direction they were going to go, and because of that, they had to stop, pivot, come up with something different, and it lost momentum. So now you're at a point now where you're trying to make up for lost time, so to speak, and they're kind of doing that. And I don't know, from a film standpoint, what they've put out that I've seen in this new run, it hasn't been bad. Yeah, has it been as great as the Infinity Saga? In my opinion, no, but it ain't been bad. It's been enjoyable.
Yeah. There's a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts based on what you're just saying. There's a lot of things that happened all at once with Marvel, if we really pull back and look at it. So the end of the Infinity Saga happened in 2020, right? Like right before the pandemic, right before everything got shut down.
I think it was 2019.
December of 2019, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, so like it was like right before everything got shut down.
Yeah.
And so it was like, wow, what a way to kind of end or bookend, right, that whole saga. And so you had that element. There was, a lot of back and forth on political stuff, things like that, which I think also played a role in some of that. You had the stuff with Jonathan Majors. You have the fact that Chadwick Boseman had passed. So like, I mean, honestly, when I was thinking about, okay, well, who's going to replace Tony Stark?
Right.
To me, it was Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, like, I think it would have
made total sense where he would have been the guy, right? But the fact is he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
And so they're having to pivot there from a storytelling standpoint.
Yeah.
They're dealing with all this other stuff that's going on. And so I think, to me, their way forward, it appears that they're really, honestly, going to probably lean on Tom Holland and on Spider-Man.
It appears that way, yes.
Like, and especially after watching this film,
right.
I'm like, okay, I think they're going to lean in on him. Now, I'll say, and I think we've talked about this with Deadpool and Wolverine. Have we talked about this on air?
I don't know.
Like, just the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine, man, like, that brought back a little bit of that feeling that I had watching, the Infinity Saga.
Well, yeah, it's because it was different in the regard of, I mean, they went R because you had to with telling the story of Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, you had to.
Right.
And so it created a different kind of vein there as far as being the casual viewer. It gave you a little spiciness, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not to say that needs to be the full transition of what MCU does, but
Sure.
it gave you enough to perk up and be like, oh, what's going on over here? A little bit of attitude. And with this film, you get that too with the Punisher character.
Yes.
And it adds just an adult real world reality to it. It gives you a little bit more tangibleness to grasp onto rather than just watching superhero films, quote unquote superhero films.
Yeah. I will say, so I love Punisher.
Do you think so?
I don't know if we've documented that here ever.
It's been said a couple times, yeah.
John Berthal, his version of Punisher, of the Punisher, the Netflix series, dude, absolutely loved it.
Right.
I have not watched since Disney has taken ownership back. He had like a 45-minute special, I think.
I think it's called One Last Kill.
Yeah, One Last Kill or something like that. So I have not seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
I will say, I was really excited to see that he was going to be in a movie finally.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were because I've seen interviews where he was talking about it and he was nervous about it and kind of apprehensive because he's like, it's the Punisher. He's a real world guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have superpowers or anything like that. He's just, he just seeks his own style of justice. How do you compete with the likes of a Hulk or a Spider-Man or anyone who's on that level?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being the type of person that he is, which is, I guess you consider a norm, So, having that apprehension, it's very well warranted.
Yeah.
But again, like we've always banged the drum on this show, it's all about how you tell your story and how you make it work.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I think overall, my view of the Punisher in this film, I loved it. I can definitely tell that they pulled a little of the grit back, for sure.
Right.
To make it more palatable for the PG-13 audience, right?
And a lot of that might have to do with that special, that Punisher special.
Well, and I kind of wonder if it does or not with that. I need to go back and watch that. But I do like the fact that, right out of the gate, he's going to drop the F-bomb. And then, I like the way that they took care of that. I thought that was great.
But I like the way that they didn't shy away from other bad language with him.
Yes.
That way he keeps that attitude and that grit.
Yes. And, his banter back and forth with Spider-Man, I enjoyed that. Dude, the scene with him fighting the Hulk.
Yes.
I was just like...
It was great!
I was like a giddy school kid, man. In that moment, just seeing him fly, being drugged by Spider-Man, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
I want more of that,
Right.
And I know that the film wasn't about the Punisher. He was just a piece of it. But that's one of the things I did enjoy with this film. So, dude, it's been a long time since I've been to the theater on an opening weekend. So,
I think the last time was Thunderbolts, wasn't it?
I think so.
With us?
Yeah, I think so. Because I normally try to avoid the people.
Well, yeah. I typically don't go opening night anymore. I usually hit the Saturday or the Sunday.
Yeah.
If it's something that I really want to go see, that way I can kind of avoid the crowds. But
Yeah.
I was pretty pumped about going to see this one, and it kind of worked out because the kids are leaving to go out of town tomorrow. Well, technically today, 6 hours. Idiots. I told them, I was like, I'm getting tickets for the late showing. I don't think you guys want to go. No, we're gonna go.
We're definitely going.
We've driven in under worse conditions. You guys are morons.
Oh, to be young again.
Oh, to be young. Yes.
It's quite interesting. There was two girls beside me.
Yeah.
Smelled like incense.
Is that what that was? I smelled that.
Yeah.
I was like, where's that coming from?
Yeah, it was definitely the people next to me.
That's
what was weird is I noticed they both were on their phones.
Oh, God.
And then I'm pretty confident one fell asleep. And I'm just like,
what is the
point? Why did you come? But it's whatever. It's your money. You do what you want to do. But
I don't understand.
It was weird. But it has 0 point to the film. It just, I was just like.
Well, as far as the movie going experience tonight, it was cool to see so many people turn out for it. There was a ton of screens and a ton of showings tonight for this film.
Oh, yeah.
Not only just in digital, but also in 3D. I got a funny story about that. I don't know if I'll share it on here, but whatever. Buying tickets, screwing that up. But anyway, there was a ton of people there. Even Spider-Man showed up for his own film. We were pretty jacked about that. Guy walking around dressed up like Spider-Man. It was hilarious. But it was cool to see so many people turn out for it, and it was nice to see that everyone kind of kept their rowdiness in check.
Yes. Yeah.
It wasn't too crazy. I did find it absolutely hilarious there towards the end of the film. Like I said, we already did the spoiler alert on this, but whenever Spider-Man and Jean Grey are having this really tense discussion, and he's basically trying to kind of talk her down, so to speak, you know, from just going ahead and just killing everyone. 2 rows back behind us, someone is opening up a wrapper.
Right.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
You couldn't have opened whatever the hell you were opening, like, during any one of the other scenes where shit's getting blown up or broken or thrown. Right. I mean, really? You wait till now to open your little treat. Okay. Sure.
It sounded more like a suitcase. It was like...
It was ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
But,
anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
So let's get back to the film.
Yeah.
So you like the Punisher. You like seeing him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was happy to see him. The introduction of him was great. Right.
What'd you think of Hulk?
Dude, I mean...
Benji was right. We got to see a souped-up version of Hulk in this.
We did. And see, that was something that was kind of teased in this video that I'd watched beforehand. The more muted Professor Hulk kind of character, you know, how he wasn't his full blown self. And so, getting to see that was good. That was fun. Watching him and Spider-Man fight. Again, it was there's a lot of those moments where it's just like... comic book nostalgia, right? There's a lot of plot points and a lot of things in this that I'm like, okay, I see what you guys are doing. Right. Like you're setting the stage for some things. You talk about Jean Grey.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Sadie Sink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our girl.
And I'm like, okay, it's a smart move on their part, picking a young actress that they can... You know, it's basically one of those things where it's like, okay, she's going to help be able to carry things forward.
Yeah, just transition that fame that she built on Stranger Things right over into the MCU.
Yep.
Fit right in.
Yep.
Like like seamless, it seemed like to me.
And the Jean Grey character is definitely good choice for her.
Right.
Very good choice for her.
Yeah. And I love the fact that with regard to storytelling in this, I mean, again, I'm not a comic guy. You're more of a comic guy than I am. I know you're not hardcore like a lot of people are. I'm definitely not a comic guy. I'm very much give me a story in a film and, you know, give me a good story. And as long as I can follow along with it, I'll be happy, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not lost upon me who Jean Grey is.
Yeah.
You know, I understand who she is. She's a mutant. She's an X-Men, you know, so I understand that.
Right.
And so I thought it was really smart. It was a good way to start to integrate that part of the storytelling into what is already established. Not heavy-handed, not over the head. You're not even talking about, you didn't even mention mutant. Said telepath, you know, but I mean, that could be anything, you know. If you didn't have any prior knowledge of X-Men or mutants or any of that stuff, that could mean anything to you, you know. And so I appreciate that from a casual viewer of this, that's what I consider myself to be, you know, seeing that with regard to storytelling. Because it doesn't beat you over the head. Yeah.
So the chip that Spider-Man is working on for himself, right? Obviously becomes a huge plot device within his film. I will say that's one of the things, like looking at it, it's like, okay, I think they're priming the pump for whenever they introduce X-Men into this world. Because the whole concept of X-Men is kind of fighting this whole backlash from the community about mutants and things like that. So there was definitely some pieces where I think they were laying some groundwork within the storytelling of this film for future.
Oh, yeah.
Still loved it. I thought it was great. Yeah, her character was great. I think the fight scenes, like, I enjoyed the fact that, like, Spider-Man is older. So I like the whole stretch scene. That was one of the things in a teaser trailer, I think, early on, where he's like, do you guys stretch? You know, like those things. It's like,
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I'm not in high school anymore, so I appreciated that. Him fighting the hand, that whole evolution and stuff of that was freaking awesome. The storyline with him, MJ, Ned, it was good. I think this film had more dramatic elements than all the other Spider-Man movies. As far as Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Well, I feel like No Way Home carried a lot of dramatic pieces in that as well.
But there was a lot of action in that, too.
There was a ton of action in that. Yes.
It was a good balance.
Yeah, there was a ton of action in that, but I feel like the writing for specifically Tom Holland and in the dramatic scenes have been really good because it adds so much more layering and richness to the character that I appreciate beyond just watching an action film.
Yeah.
You know, I love those smaller, intimate moments. Like when he comes back to Frank's hideout and MJ has read the letter.
Yeah. Dude.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
Like that scene, that right there, to me, I could watch shit like that all night long over the action. Yeah. And I know that probably sacrilege to some people listening out there, but it's those dramatic moments like that that build the characters and drives the story. I love that stuff. It's great.
No, I think that scene, like just the reveal, right? Like, so you have the moment where at first, you know, he gets to kiss her and tell her he loves her and all this, and you're just like, wow. You kind of recognize pretty quickly, like, okay, things may not be on the up and up, right?
Right.
Just the way they played that off and the way they acted that out was really good. Because there's that moment, there's a believability moment, and then you're like, this doesn't feel right.
Right. You know, they did a really good job of building that up.
Yeah.
To where, you know, when the reveal happens, that it's like, oh no, MJ is basically taken over by Jean Grey.
Yeah.
But you don't know it's Jean Grey at that moment.
You don't. You know? Yeah, you don't.
It's just it's this faceless entity that's hopping from body to body.
From body to body, yeah.
Now, if you're a comic nerd, like a hardcore comic nerd, and you've been following all the spoilers and stuff and seeing the casting and stuff like that, you probably already have the heads up on it.
Yeah.
But for someone like me, it's fun to see, all right, well, who the hell is this?
Right. Yeah.
You know? And then whenever it's even revealed that it's Sadie Sink, you know, I see her and I'm like, I didn't know. I'm like, oh, okay, it's cool. It's her. Who the hell is she?
Yeah.
Oh, Jean Grey. Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as they say the name, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. See, that's why sometimes I feel like, you know, it's good to not be a fanboy with shit like this because you get to have all this stuff unveiled to you.
Yeah, there's more surprises, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I thought the drama piece, I love Ned. I love Ned's character.
He's the best. He's great.
Even him not knowing who Peter Parker is in Spider-Man. Right. It was just one of those, like, I was just like, man, I love his character. In this one, I think, you know, there's just this genuine nice guy vibe that you get. I don't know, like it was good. Yeah. It was good. So I think they did a really good job overall from a storytelling standpoint. I know that they're laying a lot of groundwork for the future.
Yeah.
That's very evident. I don't know. I thought it was good. I think that Spider-Man is the new Iron Man.
I get that. Yeah.
I think that
the big time anchor for everything.
Yeah.
You know, everything. He's like the quarterback for the team. Everything kind of runs through him. I definitely see that.
Yeah. And I mean, in some ways, even from a storytelling standpoint, it makes sense. Like he kind of was taking the mantle from Tony. You know. So.
Well, I mean, you saw it after the events of what happened in the Infinity Saga after Tony passes. You know, and then you see Spider-Man Far From Home. Whenever he's he goes on the trip to London and he's dealing with Mysterio and, you know, this idea of trying to basically live in the shadow of his mentor.
Yeah.
And that whole thing. So from a storytelling standpoint, it's a seamless transition. The student becomes the master kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, but he's still very much learning. He's still very much evolving, if you would say.
Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, and that plays in obviously with, you know, the physical characteristics of his abilities.
Yeah.
Those are evolving as well.
Which I do like that. It was a little weird at first, like seeing some of that, right? You're just like, what is going on? But then what I appreciated about it was that they used a Nat Geo video playing in the background to help explain what was happening.
Oh, yeah. And his disgust with it.
Right.
Could you turn that off?
There was definitely some innuendo in some areas, right? Which was pretty funny. Like, with that.
There's a lot of innuendo.
Yeah. Dude, can we talk a minute about the new Black Widow?
Are you talking about Yelena Belova? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she gets the extended cut every single time. Absolutely.
Of course I'm talking about Yelena.
Look, let's get the dude talk out of the way right now, okay? I wanted to be Peter Parker in Yelena's office.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right.
Right?
Mask, no mask, clothing, no clothing. I don't care. Just put me in there. I don't care. I love her so much.
I love...
Even at the end of the film, I turned to my wife. I'm like, what'd you think? She's like, yeah, it was good. It was fun. Black Widow. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Look, man, Florence Pugh can do no wrong. All right? She is a goddamn national treasure. She should be treated as such, and anyone who says otherwise shall be smacked in the face. She is the best of all of us. I love her.
I love just her character in this taking over for Black Widow, right? And,
yeah.
In that sense, just her being in the office, the fact that she was like, sorry, you gotta lose your suit or whatever, and he still came out with the mask on. It just that whole interaction.
Well, she has laid the groundwork for her character having that level of humor.
Yes,
it's been fun to watch. Did you watch the Hawkeye series?
I did not.
Let me tell you something right now. Watch the Hawkeye series.
Yeah.
And you will fall in love with her all over again.
Okay.
She is amazing. She's the best. She really is the best. There's nothing else that you can say about it. I mean, she is just, obviously she does the action stuff and she plays the character very well, but she's just so goddamn funny. Just like effortlessly funny.
Right.
And she's entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just watching the character, you're like, she's not trying to be funny. She's just funny.
Yeah.
And that's what is so great about it.
Yeah. The delivery, all of it. This is small potatoes. These are little bitty potatoes. Yeah.
So deadpan. Like, just perfectly deadpan in all seriousness in her delivery. That's what makes it so damn funny.
Yeah, that whole scene was hilarious. And the when he's leaving and she's like, I saw your belly button or whatever. Yeah, just the humor and stuff in that, like, I thought that was great, man. Like, it was really good. It was a lot of fun. But
what'd she say? Like who is that? When Ned and MJ are in the background.
Oh yeah,
and she's like, oh, the
sad man has friends.
The sad man now has friends.
Well, what I love about those delivery and those little humorous lines is it reminds me a lot of. I always call him Hopper now, but David Harbour, right?
Yeah, Red Guardian.
Yeah, Red Guardian. So, like, there's that same humor.
Oh, yeah.
With Red Guardian, right? Like, so
absolutely.
It felt like something the Red Guardian would say.
Right.
And that makes sense since she was raised by him.
Exactly.
So I thought, well done on that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Characters from top to bottom, I mean, there's so much to love about this film with regard to the people that they cast in the film. It's crazy to me. It was cool seeing Michael Mando back as Scorpion. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bringing him back from Spider-Man Homecoming, it would have been cool to see Vulture back. That would have been awesome. Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Maybe down the road. I mean, it's not like they killed him off or anything. He wasn't a post-credit scene. So he's serving time somewhere. Maybe he'll pop up in Doomsday. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. Just bring him back and maybe he can, maybe he can right his wrongs from the past and work for the good guys. That'd be amazing.
I'll be honest. I kind of thought he might be one of the prisoners that was broken out.
Oh, yeah. Right? That'd been insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of thought that might have been a direction they went. But no, dude, like, yeah, Scorpion, seeing that interaction and and the back and forth with Spider-Man, like, just kind of coming into his own, this whole metamorphosis of him and kind of seeing that where he's losing control of things. And
yes.
I don't know. I thought that was really good.
Well, it was really a good way to kind of like harken back a little bit to the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Where he basically becomes Venom, and it's like this whole him becoming something different than what he is and changing and having to figure out who he is, what his real identity is. And, it's kind of cool, these little tiebacks that they do, adding a little bit of symmetry to the different layers of the multiverse.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I love about what they're doing with this run, because yes, maybe a little bit of luster and shine is gone in comparison to the Infinity Saga, but the sandbox is 10 times bigger now.
Right.
And there's so much that they can do as long as they take care of the story in the way they tell the story.
Right.
Don't just throw shit out there to frivolously throw it out there.
Right.
But if you have concepts and you really work on it and fine tune it, Man, the sky's the limit for what they can do.
Well, and like, so, we've talked about this before with the whole multiverse, the introduction of that. Like, it definitely opens the door. The trouble that you get into is that you have so many options.
Right.
And so keeping that story tight and very focused, I think is going to have a greater impact than just trying to like hit everything, right?
Yeah.
And so I think...
Let's see how much shit we can throw out the wall and make it stick.
And I kind of feel like Marvel, maybe that's part of the other issue that they've been going through, right? Is like they're introducing this timeline and they're introducing all these things. And I mean, let's be honest, that whole introduction of the multiverse plays into Doomsday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And you still haven't seen the Fantastic Four yet, have you?
I have not.
See,
I have not.
That was a straight up comic book movie. Like, even I recognized it watching it, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a comic guy. I mean, it's well documented on the show, but watching it, just the feel and the vibe of it, I was like, this is definitely a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because I liked the story.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, I think so. This Spider-Man Brand New Day that we kind of talked about earlier, like, there's definitely the comic book piece, but looking at it as a piece of the bigger puzzle, the bigger storyline, I think even like there's more of a maturity about this film.
Oh yeah,
than what there has been, which needs to happen.
Yeah,
right. Like Spider-Man is, yes, he's this wisecracking, fun-loving young guy, but we're growing up with him, right? Like so. We saw it in No Way Home, the introduction of like real brutal, life-changing things that were happening.
Right.
There's a need for maturity, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so then we got to really see that kind of fleshed out even more, I think, in this film. I'm interested to see what they're going to do, like where they're going to go from here.
Right.
Talking about the multiverse and all of that. I mean, the little Easter egg they left, which wasn't much.
Wasn't much, but it was enough to get you talking.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. You basically showing Spider-Man off planet.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
Right.
Is there another Spider-Man that's coming in from a different part of the multiverse? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see. And plus, when they left it off, it says Spider-Man will return, but it didn't say in Doomsday. It didn't.
Right.
It didn't say. It just said Spider-Man will return.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see what will happen with that for sure. So we've covered quite a bit with the story, from top to bottom, and talked about the different characters and whatnot and things like that. Obviously, action was good. I think we can agree on that. Drama was good. We can agree on that. Casting, I thought casting was great. Seeing the different people who play in the different roles. I mean, obviously, John Bernthal as the Punisher, Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner and Hulk, Zendaya and Tom Holland. You got all these people who are familiar faces, and then you throw Sadie Sink at the end right there as Jean Grey, so it kind of rounds everything out there. What did you make of, and what did you think of the end scene before credits rolled, where Peter Parker runs into Ned in the little bodega right there at the end?
I loved it.
I loved it too.
Because it's one of those things where they set you up 3/4 of the way into the movie. So you have that interaction with MJ.
Yeah.
And he basically drops her off, and then they're hanging out, building Legos, and, having, basically like old times.
Right.
Right?
Except he's in a mask.
And Ned has zero clue who he really is.
Right.
So there was that whole moment where MJ's like, hey, I think you need to tell him. He can handle it.
Right.
And he's like, nah, and things happen to where it's like, he's not able to.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he, as Peter Parker... so he's not there as Spider-Man. Nope. He's there as Peter Parker, who Ned doesn't realize is Spider-Man.
Right.
He shows up, and when he does that, it's that whole, that moment of So MJ found out the way she found out.
As she always found out before.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like this unlocking for Ned. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I love it, man. I
almost wonder if the reason why, and I literally just now thought of this, I almost wonder if the reason why Ned was able to know, if you remember back in No Way Home, when he has the sling ring from Doctor Strange, and he's able to make the portal open to bring the Peter Parkers together.
Yep.
It almost makes me wonder if he's a tad bit impervious to the spell by Doctor Strange because he has the gift as well.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, that's a nice little ripple to add in to the storytelling that makes it fun.
Yeah. No, absolutely it does. I don't know, dude. Maybe it's because he used Doctor Strange's ring.
Maybe. I don't know.
I wondered that as well.
Right.
You know, as you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, no, that makes total sense. That maybe because he is connected like that.
Yeah. I just thought it was really cool to see, like, hey, I'm gonna shake his hand, but I'm gonna try our little secret handshake. I'm gonna try just to see what happens.
Yeah.
And Ned just falls right into it. And it's like, oh wait, a little muscle memory right here.
Right.
I know who you are.
Yeah.
And it's great. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Well, even the fact that, like, you know, they both were, him and MJ both early on were talking about the fact of, like, Spider-Man's rescued us multiple times and all this. So, like, you know,
right.
It's just like, you know, in those moments, you can kind of feel that frustration.
Yeah.
That the Spider-Man must have been feeling. You know, it was like, I know who you are.
Right.
And you know me, but you don't know me. But yeah. So yeah, it was a good payoff, I think, you know.
Right.
Because you're like, okay, cool.
How about seeing Marissa Tomei back as Aunt May?
Yeah, just always a good time, man. And that whole scene, dude. The fact that, like, Spider-Man let her, like, just all of that.
Yeah.
All of that was just like, cool, solid. I love the way she's like, you know, I'm stronger. I can get into your head.
He's like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah. He lets her in.
Yep.
Because he knows that she needs to hear, you know, what Aunt May had said.
Right.
You know, so, like, that payoff there. Here's this girl who didn't have a mom and, you know, has lost everything and is hearing, and just that whole piece. And then Peter Parker shows up and then obviously takes a bullet.
Right. Well, and that I think that says a lot for Jean Grey's character as well. In that moment, she has that breakdown. You know, I don't have anyone.
Yeah,
that's not something that we share. I don't have anyone. And he's like, well, you have me.
Yeah.
And then to see him sense the shot from Frank,
right,
and then to take the bullet for her,
right,
that says so much for what Jean Grey now believes that can be possible.
Right,
that there can be people that will care about me that aren't just trying to use me,
right,
or track me for my gifts. There's actually people that might actually care for me now.
Yeah.
And then seeing her leave, which, I mean, I don't know where she's going. One could assume that maybe she's going to go and try and find others that are like her, which could lead her to the other X-Men, which could lead her to, you know, Professor X. So much fun possibilities are popping up on the horizon with the storytelling that I feel hopeful in this vein of storytelling in the MCU.
No, same. Dude, even just watching the trailer for Doomsday and seeing Gambit
fighting Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
I'm there for it, man.
Yes.
I'm there for it.
Dude, everyone lost their fucking mind whenever they were seeing that, and they were like, all right, can we start having the serious discussion about Shang-Chi too? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for? What are we doing here, people? You know what I mean?
But just seeing that, like, knowing, like, okay, and we know the X-Men are coming, right? Like, we know they're there. They're laying the groundwork for it. I'm just interested to see how that plays out. Are they going to show up in the Avengers? Or are they going to have their own X-Men movie? Because here's the thing, like, there's plenty of X-Men movies. So are they going to have a blend?
I don't know.
Like, you know, it's like, how are they going to do that? I think it's really cool that they're bringing in these characters into different films to get people excited about it before they kind of do the introduction of the X-Men as a whole. So.
Well, and the thing that I love is, go back to, we already mentioned it before, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine has already been brought to Deadpool's Earth, you know, because he was basically everything ruined on his Earth. So he's brought through the multiverse back to this Earth now, which we already know Deadpool is canon to this Earth with Happy, with Spider-Man, you know, and so obviously Jean Grey, and now you have Wolverine.
Right.
So, again, the sky's the limit on what you could do with storytelling now. There's so much that, you know, if the MCU stubbed their toe with the whole Kang and Jonathan Majors thing, I feel like they're doing their absolute best to right the ship. It feels like it to me. There's a lot of decision-making, and there's a lot of storytelling that they're doing. To me, that really seems like they're trying to point that ship right back in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so, I mean, Comic-Con just happened.
Yeah.
And so talking about exciting things coming along, I mean, the fact that Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah. Just announced.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling playing Ghost Rider.
Dude. I think that's a character like he's been wanting to play for a while. So.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, this is what is like. Channing Tatum wanted to play Gambit for so long, and they stumbled on that, having his own, because they were supposed to do his own film. Like, when they started announcing the original run of Marvel stuff, they had everyone on stage, and Channing Tatum was there because they were supposed to be in a Gambit movie.
Yeah.
And they never did it. So he finally got to take the stage in the Deadpool Wolverine film, and everyone lost their shit, and they're like, okay, let's bring this guy back. And obviously they're bringing him back for Doomsday, which is great.
Yeah.
So Ryan Gosling now has been wanting to do Ghost Rider for a long time, and actually was the one who pitched the story to Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
And so it's like he's obviously passionate about it. He wants to do it. I love it. If you got an A-list celebrity who is passionate and wants to do this shit, then let's make the shit happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I still don't understand how they're stubbing their goddamn toe on Blade with Mahershala Ali. I don't get it. It's Mahershala Ali.
Right.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's amazing, and he'll be badass. What's the problem?
Yeah.
It's fucking Blade, the Daywalker.
You're nothing to me but another dead vampire.
Well, it's probably because Wesley Snipes is still around.
Damn, son, that is one compelling argument.
Doesn't matter, man. What's better than one blade? Two blades.
Two blades.
Man. All right. Well, I think we've gone super long on this. I had a lot of fun talking about the film.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything. We covered all kinds of stuff, man.
We did. Like, is there anything in your mind that we didn't cover, or maybe something that you enjoyed that we didn't talk about, or maybe something you didn't enjoy?
There was so much to like about this. I absolutely loved Peter Parker realizing his Spidey sense in Far From Home when he's fighting Mysterio on the bridge.
Yeah.
When he's like zoned out, taking out all the drones. I thought that was so freaking cool. I loved whenever he was tapping into his Spidey sense to, figure out where this disturbance was, and it was the Green Goblin emerging in the apartment, in Happy's apartment, whenever they're trying to cure everyone in No Way Home. I thought that was fantastic. This scene with the mutation, whenever he goes to find Jean Grey, and the hand is coming after him, being powered by Jean Grey.
Yeah.
That whole scene was insane.
It was so good.
And I love the parody. He's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I have to just embrace that I'm changing.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I can be both.
Yeah.
And he fully embraces it and just waylays the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, dude.
It was so good.
Yeah, that moment of realizing that realization for him of like, okay, I have to be both.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to do one or the other.
It was so good.
I think that whole scene, dude, him taking on the hand, holy crap. That was great.
Yeah, it was really good. I was thoroughly impressed. I enjoyed it from top to bottom. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I thought it was dramatic. It had action. I really have been enjoying the Tom Holland run as Spider-Man.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun watching them. Like, it's been exciting to watch. Like, I love the storytelling, from the beginning to now, just seeing his growth and his evolution as a character when he's, first introduced in Civil War, and then all the way up till now. It's been fun. Yeah. It's just been fun. It's like a breath of fresh air to the MCU stuff, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to throw in on the end?
No, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this next run with Marvel. I enjoyed this movie a lot.
Right.
I know that we were talking with everybody on the way home.
Yeah.
You were asking like, hey, what would you rank it?
Right. My wife said pass. In fairness, she did give it a 4, though.
Yeah. After we've talked about it more, I would definitely, I'm not going to give it necessarily a 5, but close to a 5.
Yeah, I'm same. It's like a really high. See, I sit here and I say a high 4, but then I think about the film and I'm like, there's really nothing that I can say detracts from it to make it a 4. So I'm just going to give it a 5. It's just going to be a 5 for me. It's just a solid movie.
It is. It's a solid movie. I think it's one of those that it's one of those you can't go into the film if you haven't had a bearing of what's happened before then.
That is more than fair. And I would say if there was any reason for me to give it a 4, it would be for that reason alone.
Well, and so I think there's that piece, and then it is a different tone for not just a Marvel movie, but more so a Spider-Man movie. It has a little more maturity. It has a little more depth. There's definitely more on the storytelling piece. There's action.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more drama, I feel like, in this one.
Did you ever watch Into the Spider-Verse?
I did.
The animated?
Yes.
Do you remember whenever he meets up with the older Peter Parker?
Yep.
I feel like that's kind of where Tom Holland's at right now. Maybe not at like the Peter Parker that Tom Holland is portraying.
Yeah.
Not quite that older. Because I feel like that was more like maybe early to mid 30s.
Right.
You know? More mature, more experienced kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I feel like they tapped into that a little bit, you know, with regard to their storytelling. And then you also look at Jean Grey, and like whenever she just goes full ballistic and she sends out that pulse and it's just got everyone under her control.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of harkens back to Famke Janssen's portrayal of Jean Grey back in the original X-Men run.
Yeah.
Whenever she lost her shit,
yeah.
you know,
yeah.
and was going crazy. It kind of little mirror or a little echo of that as well. So basically what I'm getting at is I'm loving how different aspects of the MCU along the way with regard to the multiverse,
yep.
they are finding ways to kind of bring those little red strings in and attach, you know, that way, whenever everything starts to open up wide, there's going to be a lot of symmetry and a lot of connecting dots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll be fun.
No, it will be. It will be. But that's the only reason I would say it's a high 4.
I got you.
Or a very low 5 for me.
Yeah, I got you because of all of that. Yes.
Because you have to have context before you go into it.
That's
if
more than
not,
fair.
It's definitely not going to be enjoyable.
That's more than fair.
But yeah, obviously if you're a comic book nerd, you're going to love it.
I think so.
Yeah, I think overall though it was a great movie. I'm excited for what's coming down the pike.
Absolutely. I would be interested to see what former super producer of the Homer's Radio Network, Roger Turner, has to say about this film. He reached out to me not too long ago and was like, hey, if you guys ever want to do some more deep dive on fanboy stuff, I would love to come on and talk.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see what he has to say about that and about fanboys.
Raj?
I'm also mildly afraid he might kill me. It's possible.
Speaking of older and more mature and stuff, I have a feeling that he may not have as much liquid courage this time.
Oh, man. We love you, Raj.
Absolutely. I ain't throwing shade at you at all,
None
dude.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We got a different setup than we did back then.
Absolutely.